Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati Naistiki. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10, the pastimes of the Supreme Lord Ramachandra. From the text 33. Text 33. When Lord Ramachandra returned to his capital Ayodhya, he was greeted on the road by the princely order, who showered his body with beautiful fragrant flowers, while great personalities like Lord Brahma and other demigods glorified the activities of Lord in great jubilation. Text 30, Text 34. Upon reaching Ayodhya, Lord Ramachandra heard that in his absence his brother Bharata was eating barely cooked in the urine of a cow, covered his body with the bark of trees, wearing matted locks of hair, and lying on the mattress of Kusha. The most merciful Lord very much lamented this. Text 35 to 38. When Lord Bharata understood that Lord Ramachandra was returning to the capital Ayodhya, he immediately took upon his own head Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes and came out from his camp at the Nandigrama. Lord Bharata was accompanied by the ministers, priests, and other respectable citizens by professional musicians vibrating pleasing musical sounds and by learned brahmanas loudly chanting Vedic hymns, following in the position where chariots drawn by the beautiful horses and harness of the golden robe. These chariots were decorated by the flags with the golden embroidery and by the other flags of various sizes and patterns. There were soldiers decorated with the golden armor, servants bearing betel nuts, and many well known and the beautiful postures. Many servants followed on the foot, bearing an umbrella, whisk different grades of the precious jewels and other paraphernalia befitting a royal reception. Accompanied in this way, Lord Bharata, his heart softened in the ecstasy and his eyes full of tears, approached Lord Ramachandra and fell at his lotus feet with a great ecstatic love. Text 39 and 40th. After offering the wooden shoes before Lord Ramachandra, Lord Bharata stood with folded hands, his eyes full of tears, and Lord Ramachandra bathed Bharata with the tears while embracing him with both arms for a long time, accompanied by the mothers Sita and Lakshmana. Lord Ramachandra then offered his respectable obeisances unto the learned brahmanas and the elderly persons in the family, and all the citizens of Ayodhya offered their respectable obeisances unto Lord. Text 41. The citizens of Ayodhya, upon seeing their king return after a long absence, offered him flower garlands, waved their upper cloths, and danced in the great jubilation. Text 42 and 43. O King, Lord Bharata carried Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes. Sugriva and Vibhishana carried a whisk and an excellent fan. Hanuman carried a white umbrella. Shatrughna carried a bow of two quinkles, and the Sita Devi carried a water pot filled with the water from the holy places. Angada carried a sword, and Jambavan, the king of the Rakshasas, carried a golden shield. Text 44. O King Parikshit, As a lord sat on his aeroplane of flowers with the women offering him prayers and recited chanting about his characteristics, he appeared like the moon with the stars and planets. Text 45 and 46. Thereafter, having been welcomed by his brother Bharata, Lord Ramachandra entered the city of Ayodhya in the midst of the festival. When he entered the palace, he offered obeisances to all the mothers, including the Kaikeyi and the other wives of Maharaj Dasharatha, and especially his own mother Kaushalya. He also offered obeisances to the spiritual precursors such as Vasistha. Friends of his own age and the younger friends worshipped him, and he returned their respectable obeisances, as did Lakshmana and Mother Sita. In this way, they all entered the palace. Text 47. Upon seeing their sons, the mother of Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrugna immediately arose like unconsciousness bodies, returned to the consciousness. The mother placed their sons on their lap and bathed them with the tears, thus relieving themselves of a grief of long separation. Text 48. The family priest or the spiritual master Vasistha had Lord Ramachandra cleanly shaved, freeing him from his matted locks of hair. Then, with the cooperation of the elderly members of the family, he performed a bathing ceremony Abhisheka for Lord Ramachandra with the water of the four seas with the other substance, just as it was performed for a King Indra. Text 49. Lord Ramachandra, fully bathed and his head clean shaved, dressed himself very nicely and was decorated with the garlands and the ornaments. Thus he shone brightly surrounded by his brothers and wife who were similarly dressed and ornamented. Text 50th. Being pleased by the full surrender and the submission of Lord Bharata, Lord Ramachandra then accepted the throne of the state. He cared for the citizens exactly like a father, and the citizens, being fully engaged in their occupational duties of Varna and Ashram, accepted him as their father. Text 51. Lord Ramachandra being king during the Treta Yuga, but because of his good government, the age was like Satya Yuga. Everyone was religious and completely happy. Text 52. O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the Bharata dynasty during the region of Lord Ramachandra, the forests, the rivers, the hills, and the mountains, the states, the seven islands, and the seven seas were all favorable in supplying the necessities of life for a long living being. Text 53. When Lord Ramachandra, the supreme personality of Godhead, was the king of this world, all bodily and the mental sufferings, diseases, old age, bewilderment, lamentation, distress, fear, and fatigue were completely absent. There were even no death for those who did not want it. Text 54. Lord Ramachandra took a vow to accept only one wife and have no connection with any other woman. He was a saintly king, and everything in his character was good, untinged by the qualities like anger. He taught good behavior for everyone, especially for householders, in terms of Varnashrama Dharma. Thus, he taught the general public by his personal activities. Text 55. Mother Sita was very submissive, faithful, shy, and chastely, always understanding the attitude of her husband. Thus, by her character and her love and service, she completely attracted the mind of Lord. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of ninth canto, 10th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Pastimes of the Supreme Lord Ramachandra. Thank you so much, all devotees. Hare Krishna, Sri Krishna Das Prabhuji. Please accept our humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Radharani Mataji, for reading Srimad Bhagavatam today. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashtamekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradari Kripam Tamaham Prapadye Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrupatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, the glorious Lord Ramachandra's pastime is also coinciding with Deepavali. Just yesterday we celebrated Deepavali. So when Lord Ramchandra actually enters into Ayodhya, so Deepavali Tithi is coincides with Amavasya. So we all know Amavasya day, so there won't be any moonshine. So all the Ayodhya Vasis were welcoming Lord Ramachandra with full of lamps and decorations and festivity. So which we celebrate as Deepavali. so so Lord Ramachandra was basically the heart and soul of all Ayodhya Vasis. They were so much in love with their king. They just see their king as the father. So basically, father takes care of all the necessities of household, family, children, and wife. So similarly, a king is also like that. He takes all the necessities of the citizens. So naturally, there is a relationship between father and children. So here also, the Ayodhya Vasis, it's as a king, they look at him as a father, and more than that, they have a loving relationship because he is the soul of all souls. He is the supreme personality of Godhead himself, who can understand each and everyone's feelings and emotions, and he can also reciprocate. So, uh, a king is called Naradeva because he is a representative of the Lord. So, he fulfills all the necessities of the citizens, but he is also an ideal devotee of the Lord. But in this case, Lord Ramachandra, he is Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, and he also tries to establish himself as an ideal king, ideal human being, ideal husband, ideal brother. In all respects, Lord Ramachandra exemplifies in all respects, giving an ideal character, personality. So, so in this pastime, Sukadeva Goswami is kind of giving a brief description about Lord Ramachandra. In the beginning itself, he says that since you have heard many, many times, I would like to keep the description of Lord Ramachandra brief. So and then he goes on to explain how Lord Ramachandra in this chapter, when Dashrath Maharaj, I mean, all of these pastimes are coming into picture because he is explaining the lineage of Manu, right? So in this lineage, Maharaj Katwanga is coming, and then from Maharaj Katwanga, eventually Lord Ramachandra is in the same family of Ikshvaku dynasty. Maharaj Ramachandra is born like Bharata, Satrughna, and all of the four brothers, Lakshmana. So because of that reason, now the Lord Ramachandra's pastime is being recited. So now, like each of these lineage, the Manu's lineage, we can see that how whenever there is a personality who are extremely devoted to the Lord, a great Vaishnava, or even Lord himself takes birth, like Lord Ramachandra, all of these pastimes are being elaborated. So because of that reason, the whole dynasty is being exemplified, glorified. So many names have been mentioned because of that one reason, that the Lord takes birth in such a exemplified family. So today we are seeing from verse number 33. So we all know that when Ravana was killed, after that Vibhishana was given the throne to rule the entire Lanka, and Lord Rama and all his mother Sita and all his associates, Hanuman, Jamban, everybody left on the Pushpaka Viman. So it was known that when Lord Rama was absent in Ayodhya, Lord Rama's on his Lord Rama's behalf, Bharata was ruling the kingdom. So Bharata was basically, if you go to Ayodhya, a lot of people glorify Bharata more than Lord Rama because of his complete devotion to Lord Rama, and how he took up the Lord's service, without any personal, on his own personal inconvenience. He just inconvenienced himself, and he took up the position of a king. Generally, when we think a position of a king, it's like a royal throne, full of opulence, that we get all the nice facilities. But being a king, Bharata was in such a very, very minimal lifestyle that he was basically just doing his duty on behalf of Lord Rama, and he did not take any of those that opulences that comes along with the king. So this exemplifies how Bharata was basically taking up his service just to please the Lord, and in return he was not taking any of that facilities that comes along with that. Bharata is very much glorified in Ayodhya. Wherever we go, Bharata is glorified because of that reason, and his great devotion towards Lord Rama. So here in these verses we can see how Lord Rama was reaching Ayodhya on his Pushpaka Viman, and the condition of Bharata is being described. How he was just eating bare minimum barley rice cooked with urine of cow. Such austerity, and his eating, sleeping, all of that is very, very bare necessities. He was not at all enjoying any of the opulence of the king. So, but Lord Rama was basically lamenting this, and he was feeling extremely compassionate for Bharata. So when Lord returned to Ayodhya, obviously he was welcomed by all the citizens and all of the king's ministers, and everyone came and then welcomed the Lord with such a pamper, like umbrella, whisks, and different grades of jewels. The royal reception is going on. So So in this here there are a lot of details mentioned. Swarna Kaksha Patakankibi, like decorated with the golden embroidery, and then Chitra Dvajaha, so like the decorated flags, and Rathai Sat Ashwai, like there are very beautiful horses and decorated with golden, like coverings, and also many soldiers with the golden armors. Purata Varma B. So there were golden armors, and there are also um, many royal reception with the valuable jewels. Panyani Padayaho. So all of this is just for one purpose, to ecstatically welcome Lord Rama in such a love and affection. Premna Praklinna Hrudaya. So from their heart, they just wanted to show the love towards the Lord, and that was the one reason all of this happening. So now Lord Bharata was also there. He was welcoming the Lord with the folded hands, and there was such a expression of love. He's full of tears, and he embraced the Lord, with both arms. so so here, this particular scene, we can see how There was the Lord Rama, Bharata, Shatrughna, and Lakshmana. They're all basically Supreme Personality of Godhead expansions. So Lord Rama, Lakshmana was none other than Adisesh. So like that, they're all expansions of the Lord. Like that, because of their love and affection is completely spiritual, in the sense we cannot, no human being can have such kind of expression of love. They're all Supreme Personality of Godhead's expansion. So here we can see that all the citizens were also watching, and they were kind of witnessing this scene, the exchange of love between Bharata and Rama. So all of these are very ecstatic scenes that they were enjoying. And there are also many garlands being offered, not only from the citizens, even the demigods were watching in jubilation. So this is like Lord Rama is going to be enthroned as a king, because when Dashrath Maharaj was going to enthrone Lord Rama as king, that time no one could witness that scene because Lord Rama had to leave to forest. So now, for the first time, Lord Rama will be coronated as king. So this is the scene that was being waited by Lord Shiva and all the demigods for to witness. So they're all so jubilant, and they're all coming to witness such a scene. So so now here, many things, especially Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes, is being mentioned, that how Bharata was carrying on top of his head Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes. So this is an example of ideal example of how one can carry a duty, carry a service. The service is carried with the utmost care, that not with any motive of enjoying that service. It's basically purely with the love and affection towards the Lord. Bharata was an ideal example how he carried out that. So in the forest, when Bharata went along with all of his ministers, he requested Lord Rama to come back. And that time, Lord Rama said, "No, you already promised my father, so I cannot come back and rule this kingdom." So and then there was back and forth, and finally, so Mother Sita's father, so he said, "Okay, I will find a middle ground. So now, what do you want?" As Rama, Rama said, "No, I cannot come and rule the kingdom. I want Bharata to rule the kingdom." So and then what do you want? Bharata said, "No, I want Lord Rama to rule the kingdom. I don't want." Okay. So now to reconcile the situation, so Bharata will rule the kingdom on behalf of Lord Rama, and until Lord Rama comes, this is just the service that was given to Bharata. So that was the reconcilement done. And Bharata was also happy. He was not happy, but he took up that service just to please Lord Rama. If that is what is going to please Lord Rama, then I will do it. That's the way Bharata accepted it, and he just accepted it as a service to Lord Rama. So in that mood, we can see how when the service is done, it is done with such a mood that one just feels completely engaged without taking any of the favor that Lord is bestowing. So, so there are many other details mentioned, but I just wanted to just focus on a couple of verses today, that how when Lord Ramachandra entered the city of Ayodhya, he was in the middle of festival. This is like a Deepavali festival. So all the mothers, Kaikeyi, and then Sumitra, Kaushal, everyone was welcoming. Especially he went to Mother Kaikeyi first. So Mother Kaikeyi was the reason that Lord actually went to the forest, but he knew that this is basically a arrangement of providence. So he directly goes to Mother Kaikeyi, and with such love and affection, he exchanges. And then, of course, especially with Mother Kaushalya also, and so now. the between the Vatsalya Bhav, like between the mothers and sons, there were so much tears and there was so much separation. All this is purely spiritual. There is no tinge of material relationships here. And finally, the priest Vasishta, basically, Lord Rama has returned after so many years of Vanavas. So it is also mentioned that how the mats of locks of hair, all that was cleaned, and then Lord was being Abhishekam was being performed. Just like the Lord Indra's, Lord Indra's Abhishekam, just like that, it's very opulent. Chatu Sindhu Jaladibihi. So all the waters of four oceans being brought for the Abhishek ceremony. And so he was dressed like a king and with all the garments and ornaments. Now he was surrounded by all his brothers and queens. So, so another exemplified, character of Lord Rama is Ekapatni Vrita. Like, so he is how he accepted only one wife, and that was his Vrata, that was his promise. And in all ways, he is very exemplified in character. So, when Mother Sita was kidnapped by Ravana, he could have, married again, but he was always in separation of Mother Sita, and finally he even killed Ravana and rescued Mother Sita. So so he was so pleased by Bharata's submission and surrender that he Lord Rama accepted the throne and of the Ayodhya. And now here is mentioned that is a very specifically that Varanashrama Gunanvitaha Jugova Pitruvat Rama. So Rama was ruling just like a father, and all the citizens accepted him just like a father, and he cared the citizens also exactly like father. So now another aspect of how the citizens were behaving is said that Varanashrama Gunanvitaha. So all of the citizens were behaving according to the Varnashrama system. So now this is what Prabhupada exemplifies as Ramarajya. Ramarajya means, the ideal nowadays even people call I want Ramarajya, but without the Lord there is no possibility of Ramarajya. So like a kingdom without the king. So how is that possible? Similarly, if you want Ramarajya, then you have to accept Lord Rama in your heart as the Supreme Lord and be obedient to the Lord's rules. So one of the rules of the God is Varnashram system. This is a very important rule that to have peaceful society, there has to be Varnashram system that everyone plays an exact role in the system, and then it's not that one is higher and one is lower. Everyone has a role to play, and in that everything becomes a perfect society. The society becomes so perfect that it's everything is guided towards one thing. So towards the Vishnu Aradhate Puman. So everyone is trying to please Lord Vishnu. So in the Varna and Ashrama system, a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, all of them are very important. Similarly, a Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. Everyone has a role to play. So as long as everyone plays the role perfectly, the society is goes in a peaceful way, and all of the citizens can also have a love and affection towards their king. So in nowadays the king is prime minister or chief minister. So president. So you can have that relationship as long as the president or a prime minister or a chief minister is a excellent Vaishnava. So he should be an exemplified Vaishnava. He should be ideal person with a good character who has devoted his life as a ideal devotee. Then the citizens also have a role to play. Not only the king has to be good, the citizens have to perform, live according to Varnashrama system. There has to be families, there has to be brahmacharis, and there also have to be vanaprasthas and sannyasis. And similarly, on the other side, there will be Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras. All of them are very important for a society to function. So, this is what Prabhupada explains. So, Chaturvarnam Guna Maya system Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. So, this is the principle of a good governance. So, nowadays, the reason Prabhupada started ISKCON, he was saying there was no good Brahmanas in the society. I wanted to contribute to the society by giving good Brahmanas. So, similarly, we need good Kshatriyas, good Vaishyas, and good Shudras. So, even Shudras are very important because they are inside the Varnashrama system. They are also like if you go to temples, there are a lot of duties which requires heavy lifting, and then like the hard labor, that is all done by these people. They are also devotees, but they are in that they are in that varna and ashrama. There is nothing bad about it. So similarly, Brahmanas, when Brahmanas are pure, then they can teach they can bring up a good Kshatriya or good Vaishya. So they can train different kind of people according to their quality. So when we actually also train in Bhakti Viksha, we can also see how one can be an ideal Kshatriya, one can be an ideal Vaishya, whatever way they are interested in, we can train them and bring them about. So that is what Prabhupada also was doing. He was seeing the different talents within people, and he was encouraging them to use that in the service of Lord Krishna. So that is an ideally a Vaishnava or a Brahmana should be able to do. So in the Kali Yuga, this because of this Varnashram system is neglected, then people are becoming like thieves and rogues. That's what Prabhupada is saying. So basically, the democracy, they have a lot of these dealings with a lot of people who are basically the stealers, thieves. The government takes money from them as contribution for the campaign. So they are obligated to people, and then there is some back and forth return. So all of this is happening in the democracy because there is no ideal from both sides, ideal king as well as ideal citizens. From both sides it has to be ideal. So but in the case of Lord Ramachandra, even though it was Treta Yuga, but it was feeling like a Satya Yuga, it seems. So in the golden age, the Satya Yuga, everybody was very happy, everybody was religious. So this is the key word, right? When everybody is religious, then there is a lot of happiness. There is no scope for unhappiness. So in the Kali Yuga, there are so many faults like Kale Dosha Nide Rajan, Asti Eka Mahanagunan, Kirtana Deva Krishnasya, Mukta Sangha Param Brajed. So in the Kali Yuga, there is ocean of faults. Asti Eko Mahanagunan, but there is one good quality. So whenever we do Kirtana Deva Krishnasya, so when you do Krishna Kirtana, so glorify Krishna, his name, form, qualities, and activities, then that one quality can counteract the so many thousands of bad qualities. So that can give us the Mukta Sangha Param Rajet. So it can give us the highest benediction by giving us the liberation from this contaminated atmosphere. So that one quality is the Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So basically in the Kali Yuga also we can have Rama Rajya provided everyone is taking to this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, so that the atmosphere becomes surcharged by the holy name. So eventually in this chapter we can see that when Lord Ramachandra was ruling, all of the land, the hills, mountains, the oceans, everything was producing profusely. So even ocean has to produce, right? So there are a lot of jewels that comes from the ocean, including pearls. Like that, in the land we cultivate and we get a lot of grains, vegetables. So similarly, all of this were producing so nicely that the people were so happy. So it was also mentioned that Dukkha shoka bhaya klamaha. So there was no disease, vyadi jara glani. There was no kind of diseases, old age, that grief, lamentation, fatigue. So including even death. It was mentioned that when Lord Ramachandra was ruling, unless somebody wants to die, they were not actually meeting with the death. So there was such a exalted atmosphere was created by the presence of the Lord. So even death wasn't approaching for those who doesn't want to leave their body. So such was the atmosphere. So now there are many other things mentioned here, but in essence, how Lord Ramachandra's exemplified character as a Ekapatni Vrita, and also how Lord punished Ravana, and he also instructed other men to be accept only one wife and be an ideal man. So that was one of his Lord Ramachandra's teachings. And finally, Mother Sita was glorified with her exemplified character. On the Lord Ramachandra was ideal in his character, and Mother Sita was also exemplified in her character. So those qualities are also mentioned. So it is mentioned that premamna anuvrutyo. So because of love and affection towards her husband, Lord Rama, Shilena prashraya avanata sati bhiya hriya cha bhavagnya. So basically chaste and being shy and understanding the attitude of the husband and serving according to Lord's, and capturing completely, captivating the Lord's manaha. So Sita Haran manaha. So by her qualities of being chaste, faithful, and submissive, and by her love and service, she completely captivated and attracted the mind of the Lord. So that was the glorification of Mother Sita finally. And this ends the chapter, this particular chapter. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Panchakalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhu vyayevachaha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you
you,
so much,
Prabhuji.
Sri
Hare
Krishna Das
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you all devotees for joining the class today. Very beautiful class. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.